and I would like to celebrate it by reviewing one of his works, the Spiritual Conferences. These conferences were originally talks given by St. Francis de Sales on various spiritual topics given to the Sisters of the Visitation more than 400 years ago. They provide us with the real image of Francis's life, his feelings, his deep convictions, his humane approach, and his apostolic zeal. These conferences were often in reply to some of the Visitation Sisters' questions. St. Jane de Chantal said that he would sometimes take questions from the sisters and then frame his talks around them. The sisters did not take notes during the talks, but they would put the conference together in written form after Francis left. One of the sisters had such a good memory that she could remember the conference almost verbatim. St. Francis's Conference on Simplicity is of interest to us because it's considered one of his everyday little virtues, along with humility, gentleness, and patience. St. Francis tells us that simplicity is nothing else but a pure and simple act of charity, which has only one end in view, and that is to obtain the love of God. Our heart is simple when we have no other aim in all that we do or desire. It looks straight at God without ever tolerating any mixture of self-interest. According to St. Francis, simplicity truly includes all the means prescribed to each person to acquire God's love. It's not opposed to any other virtue. We are to do the things that are pleasing to God, and we are to go about it without worry and anxiety. Holy simplicity does not run after its words or actions, but leaves the result of them to divine providence, on whom it absolutely depends. Another important point that Francis makes is that our interior must match our exterior. For instance, to be concerned about what other people say or think about you goes against simplicity. It is only concerned with whether to say or do a certain thing. If we do what we consider to be right, God will take care of the rest. As I already mentioned, St. Francis de Sales was concerned for the salvation of the whole world. So in reading the Spiritual Conferences, we can include in its readers those who are leading humble, ordinary, consecrated lives, devoted to the ideal of evangelical perfection. Like humility, simplicity is a Christian virtue, which was derived straight from our Lord's teachings. It is closely aligned with humility. St. Francis de Sales used the example of Martha and Mary from Luke 10. Martha was busy about many things, while Mary chose the better part. She had the single desire to love God. According to St. Francis, there is no art to loving God than to start loving Him. That is, to do the things that are pleasing to Him. Things proper to our particular vocation are the only way to find and acquire the love of God. If we encounter some opportunity to practice other virtues along the way, one makes use of them carefully. Be as simple as the dove, Jesus says in Matthew 10:16. Perhaps reading about simplicity in the Spiritual Conferences will give us motivation to make it our own.